Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter from an asteroid near Brow.
Hi everyone, I'm Dakami-sama and I play Solas Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hey, I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zaylan Moda. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Grayspace.
Hey there, I'm Zakad. I play Lafdul Moonglade, a elven specialty priest of Erevan, and occasionally a thief. He's from Bramspace. Did I say that already? Short-term memory. His gimmick is coming out of fun titles, and his current title is the Giddy Greenery Gathering Goonie Grafter. I will type it in.
I'm not even sure what all that is.
The Gidry.
Oh, okay. I think I misheard something.
Maybe I mispronounced it.
No, I don't think you did. I think I just was thinking something else. And thank you very much for those bits, Anghammarand. I really do appreciate it. So, for the viewers who wish to contribute some to the course of the game, 500 bits will get the player or dungeon master of your choice a reroll. Currently, Braxon has 2, Finn has 2, Ockar has 2, Lafdul has 1, Leva, who is not here today, has 3, Solas has 1, I, the dungeon master, only have 11, and I should, and really deserve more.
You can spend all on Leva.
Also, do remember that chat that you can use also hams for affecting the gameplay somewhat.
Yes, those options are available as well. Sorry, you said something, Lafdul?
I think I said it. I don't know if I got heard. I can't remember what I said, truthfully.
Alright, it's fine then. So we left off last time. The party had arrived at their destination, an asteroid that has a, so far as they know, abandoned Illithid outpost. At least the elves reported that they were not seeing any Illithid activity the last few decades that they have been monitoring it. You did learn that there is a path from the forested surface of the asteroid down to a docking cavern that is on the gravity plane. So you've got that basic, like approach there. I think you were talking about not coming in to be visible to the docking cavern, coming in from another angle, and then taking that path down. You did also learn that there is a large burned spot in the asteroid, on the surface of the asteroid in the forest as well.
So the idea is we've been trying to avoid lookouts seeing us. So, I mean, someone could still see us if they were sort of like hidden on the edge of the path, I suppose.
Before we embark on the asteroid or leave our ship, Solas would cast Strength on himself.
Okay.
Just enough to increase my carry capacity.
All right, so, and there were some other things that you might have wanted to discuss on the approach. So what are you guys thinking of on that approach right off the bat?
It looks like the path is going to be, we have to stay in the same line of march.
Yeah.
So we probably need the best person for going down at the front.
I'm guessing that would be Finn with his skills.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
but
it depends on it depends on what you consider the relevant skills.
when we get down, though, we're going to be stuck in that order. We can tie ourselves together so that if anyone drops, the rest can pull us back so that we can get back on the ledge. So we probably need to have someone fairly strong at the top, because if we have someone weak in last place and someone falls, they'll get tugged off the ledge as well.
To understand, When you say about tying ropes, etc., have I misunderstood? We have to climb down.
It's a
No, we
narrow
just-
path. So it is kind of like
Narrow,
rock climbing,
difficult.
but it's not strictly rock climbing. It's like a ledge, but it's a path.
We don't know
Yeah.
yet that there's no traps that cause the path to collapse or anything. So I think we're talking about
What if
precautions against
we
that.
hammered some? Well, obviously depends on the rock surface, and Finn can tell me if it'll cause a landslide at the time. But what if we hammered like the equivalent of like pitons into the wall and use them as handhelds? If it's that narrow.
It would be loud.
Yeah, that'll make
And
noise
very
and
slow.
that slow us down.
All right.
It's
Yeah,
I think
fine.
Old said that it's wide enough that you don't have to basically shimmy along the wall on the ledge, but that you can walk it, but not two person at the time.
Yeah. So basically, you can walk standing face forward along the path. It's not like you have to slide along it, with your back up against the wall. At least for the parts that you can see. But you never know exactly what's going to happen along the way.
I'd imagine it'd be like. Well, actually, as we. Well, I won't know from this distance anyway.
But we did see that there's plant growth and such on the path, I think.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it partly difficult to go. But yeah, I think we should tie ourselves together with the rope and have one strong person on the back and another one around the front.
Well, who
Braxon-
wants to take? Well, you might want to when you get to the top of the path, you can decide what you want to do. How's that?
Yeah.
You can circle around the asteroid and come in from the side closest to the docking cavern, and it wouldn't be particularly far to traverse through this forest to get to that the path leading down, if that's what you want to do.
Oh, so we could go through the forest first.
Well, not the whole forest, but just like the forest at the top of the above
The bit that's burnt.
That would
No,
give us
not the
cover.
bit that's burned. That's
Right.
different.
It's
That would
burned.
be out of your way, which is fine. I mean, this
Yeah.
is not a big asteroid, but it would be out of
Yeah.
your way.
Okay.
I'd-
Yeah.
I like that, to be honest. It gives us cover.
Yeah. We can probably lower ourselves down from the ship into the tree canopy and get down from there. On the thing of Braxton's rope and knotting it round people,
Mhm.
can it do that? Is that too complicated for it? Do I have to upload it to Rope 95?
I mean, you can you can physically tie it. Like it doesn't. You don't have to command
Okay.
it to tie.
Fair enough.
Tell it
fair
to
enough.
we three people, then.
Yeah.
you
No,
do
I'm
the
just
rest
thinking.
yourself.
I'm just thinking if we tie people together, it's gonna make it shorter. B, would Braxton be able to get it to automatically untie itself from people when we get to the bottom and people might need to fight? Or would
Like
we
you
not
could
know
command
that
it to
without trying
untie, but you can't command it to untie person number 3 in the order. Like it has to be 1,
Right,
2,
yeah.
3. 1,
Okay,
then 2,
fair
then
enough.
3.
All right.
Do you have
So when-
I was wondering if how much control you have over the rope. Can you say loosen the midsection, or is it all or nothing kind of
Well,
deal?
I think the problem is the rope doesn't know which knot is which.
Oh, so it's an all or nothing kind of command.
Well, also, does it know one end of the rope from the other? If one end doesn't have a different mark on it, it can tie to me. And
I mean,
can tie to other
you'd probably be holding on to one end, and
Yeah.
and there you don't need to dig down too deep into how it can do it, but it needs the
Yeah.
end free to untie, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think it's just about getting down and then going through a little bit of forest.
Actually, here's something we've never tested out. Braxon, hand me one end of your rope
Yeah.
and command it to go back to you, and I will not let go.
What, the end you're
And-
holding?
Yeah, just to see if
I-
it's
I
got
have
a.
to-
f-
Oh,
Can
I
it
see.
force itself
No, it
from
can't.
me? Does it have a strength?
If you,
Alright,
like if you're holding on to it, no, it can't do that.
alright. That's
Okay.
something we should. That I think that we should be aware of. That was all.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's a thing that makes attacks.
No, it does not.
No, but if someone was aware of it, then they could effectively
Yeah.
make it more difficult for you to do things with it.
I mean, Braxon can yank it out of your hand, and then you're talking
Yeah.
about like opposed strength checks kind of thing. But no, it can't. He can't command it out of your hand.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it had any kind of
All right, but that's at this point that's neither here nor there.
Right. Okay.
yeah, give up. All.
Is there anything else, like
All
any
right.
other questions that you have about preparing to go, or anything else that you want to do in preparation for going?
The only thing I'm thinking is we probably can't take any long weapons. Luckily, luckily Braxton doesn't have to worry about glitter tines anymore.
Oh yeah, that broke, didn't it?
It glittered away.
Should we take camping gear and set up a camp in the forest? Have like a base camp we can return to if we need to.
The forest
I don't think
isn't
so.
big enough, but like I mean, it's. I shouldn't say it's not big enough, but like you could always go to the edge of the asteroid and signal your ship to come pick you up too.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, we'll agree some signals with the ship, and we'll work out where we want them to stay. That's out of observation of the cave.
Is Lenelius coming with, or is he commanding
No,
the ship?
Linelius is not coming with.
He's got dodgy legs. He'd fall off the ledge.
I think you,
Wow.
like Margoth was willing to come if you wanted her, and I think you guys said yes. Pretty much everyone else, like you need some people still on the ship to command. Linelius does have command experience, so you have frequently been
And we
using him
want-
as a backup captain when you're off.
And we would want people also that would be able to defend the ship, be on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other preparations, or are you guys ready to have the ship drop you off?
I
Just
think we.
just to be on the safe side, I will also cast Astral Awareness.
And Braxton?
So
I think we want to agree a message with the ship, where if we go to the cave and there's something really dangerous in there, we can signal for them to come down and train the ship's weapons on the hull, and then we can retreat out and get them to fire in.
Okay. Any kind of signal from the cave entrance would mean that your ship would be visible to anyone in the cave.
Right. Okay.
So you would want to get back up to the top to signal in.
Okay. Yeah. Or do any of the spellcasters have a message they can send?
Level's the only one. Well, actually, no,
Right.
Solas could if someone was asleep, but that's if they even took the spells.
well, question old.
And I don't think either of them are particularly fast. Yes.
Yeah.
Would I be able to use light spell to give basically a signal to the ship from the cave? It has 120 yards range.
Well, I
If we
mean,
are,
the
close enough.
problem is that if you want the ship to be able to see you at the entrance to the cave, then people inside the cave would be able to see your ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hence,
I mean,
go back up to the forest above
yeah,
and get to the edge and signal them.
I meant basically casting the light spell outside of the cave, or from the cave to the outside.
I've got daggers of continual light on as well. I can
Since
just
it has a
levitate one
range
up
of
in the air.
120 yards.
The problem with that is that it doesn't really tell them anything other than there's, you passed a light.
Well, basically, tell them that that's a signal that we need to have pickup.
Okay, quick question, because we're sort of descending into those questions. Can Braxon send Hularat back to the ship?
It would take a really long time.
Right, fair enough.
I mean, unless you have the ship docked on the asteroid, my assumption was that on the side with boarding planks or you're in the atmosphere or something like that. Otherwise, he's crossing the void.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that you would want your ship to be out of sight once they drop you off. Like, at least try to.
Yeah. The idea with the light spell was basically it would be emergency flare type of communication.
No, I get that. I get that.
But again, the problem is them being able to see you. You basically need to get away from the entrance of the cave.
I think this is we don't have a way to signal the ship.
It is a case of if you want your ship to be out of sight, which if you don't want your ship to be out of sight, that's fine. But then they're not out of sight, and that could give your position away. So it's entirely up to you. But of course, in that case, then they'd be able to see you, and you'd be able to signal. Normally, you wouldn't need a light spell. So the options basically are they're visible, and you can signal them right away, or you have to go back up the path to signal them. Like those are your options.
Anyone got a preference, or are we just gonna accept the risk?
Well, if we are going down the path, then the ship should stay out of the sight.
Yeah.
It's not like we'll be able to signal the ship once we're inside the cave anyway, so a little bit more walking up the path won't make that much of a difference.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds good.
Yeah, and I don't want to take our flitter down there in case there are people there and we've suddenly given them a means of egress.
That's true. Yep. I concur with that. That's very good.
We could use the flitter as a landing craft. We get off and the pilot takes it back.
Yeah, main problem with that is we're now turning a spellcaster into
or they can just lower us down with ropes.
Well, but that's the thing is, like, if you're staying out of sight, then you can just use your big ship.
Yeah. That way, whoever's on the helm, they've lost their spells, and the other two spellcasters.
I mean,
because the asteroid is small enough that if there are people up in the forest watching, it doesn't matter if you're using a flitter or you're using a space leviathan. Like, doesn't matter. They're going to see you. This asteroid is small enough. And any ship that you'd use is significant enough to be spotted, kind of thing, without some other magical means to disguise you.
This asteroid was only somewhat bigger than our asteroid.
I know it's a question for the GM, but it also pertains to our character Leva. Did she give you any indication of whether or not she would have had a teleport or sending like
Leva?
Yeah.
She did not give me anything, and it's one thing for me to handle like fighting for a character who just attacks. It's another thing entirely for me to keep track of a whole roster of spells when I also have to keep track of rosters of spells for any and all NPCs. So spellcasters, if you're not there, like if there's downtime, I don't mind making some assumptions like healing spells for the priests and stuff like that. But I'm not handling it. So Leva is currently here but not here. Like she will be with you so that when she returns next week, just boom, and she's been there, but she's not going to be helping out in any way, and it's just, pretend like she is.
She casts They're Not There on herself?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a case to make it easier on myself, and not have it be a situation where if one person is gone, we can't play.
Yeah. Right, strength-wise, Ockar, you're quite strong. Do you want to be Anchorman at the back when we go down the...
It's basically
Sure.
you two.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You're
Who
both
wants
17
to
strength now.
lead, or do you want to figure that out when you get there?
Well, I suppose we can figure out when we get there, but we're going to have to do it anyway. So I think if we pre-arrange that, we don't have to... I mean, obviously, we're going to scout the area, but once we get to the path, I think we don't have to fart around choosing the order of people.
I mean, I don't waste any resources if I scout ahead of you with my ring of invisibility.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good on my feet. I won't slip. In worst case scenario, if I do slip, I've got means to get myself out of that.
Yeah. Do you want to be first going down the path, or do you think that should be Finn?
I think you should all tie yourself up and I just go ahead. I mean, Finn can do it, but he has to use magic usually. Well, his shape-shifting to be reasonably stealthy.
I'm mainly thinking of
Finn
the first
can
person
be pretty
being...
stealthy just in forest, but that generally requires him to be alone.
I'm mainly thinking of the first person being someone that can detect whether the path on the cliff is going to fall away, or whether there's a trap.
I think
Or
Finn,
a
do
plant
you
or
have
something
a
I need to-
do you have a preference, Finn?
Finn was planning on leading the group down,
There you go.
Okay.
especially
go.
since it's through nature,
There you go.
I don't
which
really
is
mind.
his element. So
Problem solved.
Yeah.
All right, so you can figure out the exact order, the rest of the exact order, when you get there.
Okay.
Anything else anyone wants to do? Spells cast before you actually drop down onto the surface.
I will mention, I do have a bat sense memorized, but it will only last around 3 or 4 hours at most for Ockar if we want to go completely dark. Since he's the only one who can't see darkness.
Well, first of all, the question would also be for Ockar. Do you have any means of lighting your way if you guys don't mind not going dark, kind of thing? Ockar?
Didn't?
What?
Do you have means of
What?
giving yourself light?
I have torches. Yeah, I can
I've
do
got
that.
continual light on land.
Don't you
Yeah.
still have that battle axe?
Oh yeah, I do have the flaming battle axe. I could use that.
That gives the same light as a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Lafdul make some of us light pebbles?
I don't know if
I
I
made-
got one of those.
I made darkness pebbles. I didn't
Oh, right.
specifically make light ones. I mean, I've got
Sorry.
my own.
That also
Sorry.
requires someone to
If-
carry it, so you'd
And
you'd
you-
have to not have a weapon or shield out or something like that.
I think they also cancel each other out, even if they're sealed. If they're
Right.
just in the proximity, I'm not sure though.
I think I'll just use the battle axe. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So, you ready to get down onto the?
Yep. Let's
Thing?
do it.
All right.
That battle axe reminded me, by the way. Does Braxon's flaming sword also give similar light?
Yeah, if he's using it that way.
Any
Yeah.
flaming one, even my dagger, either nice or fire from both do.
Your dagger doesn't provide as much light.
No, it's more
Would it be
personal, I
like a
guess.
candle?
I have a handout for it. I think it does say. I'll check. Carry on. I'll tell you in a minute when I find it.
All right, I need to actually double check the radius of a candle. I mean, not a candle, a
10-foot
torch.
radius.
All right,
Sorry,
so you order the ship in close. Is there any commands that you want to give the ship or have them do other than just usual? Keep an eye out, watch for our signals, watch for any ships, that kind of thing. I'm talking about a specific thing that might be unusual
Yeah.
or special
If
circumstance kind of thing.
I think if a ship comes and looks like it's going to fly into the cave, we need them to do something.
Okay. What do you want them to do?
I mean, unless they're fighting like 100-ton ship, they should do reasonably well one-on-one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it's one ship, they should try and hold the ship off.
Okay.
If they think they stand a reasonable chance.
Yeah. I mean, would we want them to hold the ship off, or would we want them to let the ship go in the cave and then come and stop the ship leaving?
Could probably harass them the moment they start getting into dark, because it'd be very difficult for them to attack back or defend.
To come round when they come to dock and attack them from the back.
Yeah, because they'll
Yeah.
be effectively hedged in. They either
Okay.
commit and go into the cave, or they back out. And meanwhile, while they're backing out, they're very vulnerable to several attacks.
Yeah, and we can get them from the other way. That works for me. That works for me. Anyone else got any comments?
Nah.
I think we're carrying that.
Okay.
But obviously, don't overextend your welcome. If you outnumber, just run and we'll use magical means the next day to contact you.
Hmm.
I mean, if you have to flee, just flee. We'll survive without you.
Hmm.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. The
Well, what's likely to come in? It was an Illithid ship base, wasn't it? So it's likely to be a Nautiloid.
well,
But it's also been most likely abandoned.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is like at this point you may be slightly more likely to be an Illithid ship, but that would also be a huge coincidence if like no Illithid has been here in decades and then
Yeah.
just happens
that
to show
brings
up
up-
when you're here. So
That brings up an important point, because we have fought Illithids before. Illithids, do we know if it's normal for them to just be able to teleport?
they are known to have a variety of magical skills at their disposal. Let's put
Because
it
if
that
we tell our ship to engage the Illithids, if they start teleporting onto our ship's going to lose very fast. I'd assume.
I mean, you do have a lot of crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is where we could say don't attack if it's one of those ships with the two.
So again,
What's
this
that one
is getting a bit more minutia.
Yeah.
The idea is the main thing is, do you want to like have them attack a ship preemptively or let it go in and block their exit? Leave it at that. They are
Yeah.
smart enough to make decisions.
Yeah.
Linnaeus is smart enough to make a decision as to whether to
Yeah.
ignore that because of danger.
Yeah, I agree. We've hired these crew for a reason, and that's to have our back.
Yeah.
So
I say blockade and harass
yeah.
once they're in.
Okay.
And do as much damage as you can to them.
Okay. All right. So, at that point, your dolphin ship drops you off at the edge of the asteroid, and then immediately leaves. So that is going to be all 6 of you PCs and Margoth, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they head off to try and like hide themselves around some nearby asteroids. And Finn begins casting his spell. It's going to take a little bit. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do while Finn is getting his spell cast?
Whereabouts are we? In the forest?
So you're at the edge of the asteroid, roughly above the docking cavern.
Solas surveys the immediate area with someone if someone is willing to protect him.
And you've gone just far enough in so that you're not like standing right at the edge and obviously there. Like you've gone in far enough to be hidden by, or somewhat hidden by underbrush and stuff like that.
I was going to say, I can climb a tree or climb up the side of a mountain or cave, asteroid or something if there is any visible lookouts that seem relatively safe for me to do.
You're essentially at the
I
top
will.
on top of a flat-ish asteroid. Like it's not like yours is kind of potato shaped. This is more flatter. It's like maybe a skipping stone kind of shape. So yeah, you could definitely climb a tree and survey around if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's a free
Yeah,
skill. Doesn't cost me anything.
So Solas is checking the immediate area for plants.
Okay.
Lafdul's found a plant as he climbs one.
Yep.
Yeah, but basically, if there's any dangerous or useful plants.
So let's go ahead and give me an herbalism check.
Mm-hmm.
Lafdul's like,
That's
this
a
is a bit
success.
treant.
Okay, so the plants that you're seeing around are fairly common herbs and bushes and flowers and trees. Lafdul is climbing a birch. Around you, there's some oaks, and along the edge, there's some conifers as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be familiar enough to stay away from poison ivy
Yeah.
or some such.
Yeah. So what you're seeing right now is fairly common stuff, nothing particularly rare, nothing particularly valuable. Some things that are fine, taste good, if you wanted to collect up some of that, but nothing special or unusual so far.
Yeah, I basically inform party that this is basically it seems like a pretty normal forest so far, based on the plants.
Is Braxon able to make a passing judgment on trees as to whether they'd be good for chopping down and turning into planks if we stay a little bit?
They're perfectly ordinary trees.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So there would be plenty of trees that would be suitable for a lumber.
Oak,
Yeah.
birch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So, Finn, you get your spell cast. And let's see, I think you need to know one fact per level.
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to be 9.
10.
10. Got it. All right. All right. So, what do you want to know first?
If there are any weak patches of ground on the path that may collapse if we walk across it.
So you learn that there are some spots that are weak. It's not necessarily that they will collapse, but they're spots for you to keep an eye out on when you get to them. And now you know where they are. Like you get a not necessarily an image in your head, but you get a feeling and can recognize that when you get there. So that's going to give you a +1 to any checks that I give you in terms of traversing that path.
Okay.
All right.
I'll ask about the general animal population in the area.
Okay. So mostly small animals. Pretty much like on the predator side, there's no real wolves. There's nothing larger than a fox, foxes kind of thing. There's some squirrels, there's some birds, things like that. There are some larger grazing creatures, and you get the feeling that there are fewer than there should be. Along the lines of like goats. No deer, though.
Are there any people?
Let's see. Is that something that you can exactly learn? Yes, okay. You do learn that there are some non-animal creatures that do hunt and gather in the forest on occasion.
Okay.
You don't
But
get
I don't
details on exactly what they are.
Okay. Do I get a rough idea of where they are, though?
Not in the forest.
Okay.
So they do not live in the forest.
Are there any woodland creatures here?
No.
Okay.
No treants, no dryads, nothing like that.
Okay.
The area that you can cover with the spell encompasses the entire asteroid. So, like, there is nothing outside of your range.
Okay.
The asteroid is small enough that it is well within your full range.
Okay. Are there any other hazards along the path, such as like enchantments or anything like that?
Nothing that the nature can inform you about.
Okay. And any powerful unnatural creatures?
Not within your detection. You realize that you can't detect, you're not getting any information about the beyond like the very entrance of the cave, because that is all unnatural.
Yeah. At least we know that there's nothing ready to ambush us along the path or anything like that.
That's good.
And I think that's about all I have. So.
Well,
you
you can
want to ask
ask some about the burned area, because that is within the area of effect of the spell.
Okay. But I doubt I can ask about what happened there.
No, but you might be able to
See
learn
if
some
it's-
things.
Maybe was it natural or unnatural?
Yeah, I will ask that.
Okay. It was not natural, and it was from off the asteroid, which happened. Like something off the asteroid caused it.
Uh-huh. Okay. And I know I spotted it from the spyglass, but I'll ask if the area is recovering well anyway.
Yeah, it is. You learn that it is recovering perfectly normally, just as if a normal wildfire had affected the area.
Okay.
So basically, what you can conclude from that is something unnatural caused it, but not in such a way that it was
Catastrophic.
or like the cause was unnatural, but the effect was natural. So
Okay.
it would be like a fireball spell would be an unnatural cause, but the forest fire that results from it would be perfectly natural.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that it was a fireball, but it's something along that line. Something happened from off the asteroid that instigated it.
Okay. And I think that'll do.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions that they thought of that Finn could ask?
I'd be curious about the food that could sustain this place from the plant life, like, because we could learn from like what type of creatures might be here, based on what they eat. So some generic, what foods can we find here? I don't know.
Solas would be.
Well, hold on. Let me answer that question first. So Finn would be able to learn that there's a good equilibrium of creatures and plant life. I mean, you've got the two sides of the asteroid. At its longest point, it's about a half-mile long, so that's pretty decent size. And it's, you've got grasses, you've got bushes, there are some fruiting trees and stuff like that of nature. There's insects.
There's a lot of water nearby to support this ecosystem.
There
That's something I could ask actually about bodies of water.
there's just a good amount of moisture in the air, and it doesn't exactly precipitate out as rain, but you'd learn that there's an ample amount of dew in the mornings.
Okay.
Solas would be interested in knowing if there's any rare herbs all around.
There are not.
Okay.
And I think that will be the last question, unless I've miscounted.
Solas would, while Finn was casting the spell and asking the question, Solas would have gathered some of those tasty herbs like I wrote.
There's nothing like there's normal stuff like
It's
you,
like
you find some
garlic and
parsley,
stuff.
like you find some parsley
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Parsley, basil.
Like
Oregano.
I wrote
Probably
that
not quite that
it's for the
much.
chef.
Just one
It's
or
for the
two
chef.
things. Very common stuff.
Thyme's
Yeah.
pretty common.
Yeah, fresh herbs for the chef.
Okay. All right.
I'm not looking for healing supplies. I'm just role playing that he would like to have fresh herbs
Understood.
to be used in the food.
All right. So
You think Finn hasn't been supplying him?
and you have some like cooking herbs on the ship, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
don't have them.
there might be some that we are running low or.
Okay.
I think if you see stuff, take a note of it. But like, really, we should gather herbs when we're done.
Well, I was doing it while Finn was casting the spell.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
it's also one of those things where you don't really have the time to gather them properly. You can make note of them, but you don't have time to gather them right now.
The other thing I would say is we're on an asteroid. We don't know. We're having to make sure we don't get attacked by something while Finn is doing stuff. We're covering him.
Yeah.
And I think we should do what we need to do, and then once we've made once we've checked out the cave and once we've checked out the burnt area, and we've decided that the whole situation is safe, and if there's people living here, we've made sure they're not going to try and murder us. Once we've got all that resolved, we can gather some. Braxon can grab some lumber, and Finn can get anything he needs. We can do whatever we need to do, and then move on.
I know none of us are rangers, so it's going to be hard for us, but Finn might notice this. But if we all keep an eye out for tracks on the ground, because if we can tell if there are footprints, and we know we're fighting humanoids potentially.
Yeah.
Finn can absolutely keep an eye out for some of that stuff. He's got hunting.
Yep.
I think Braxton's ability on this is going to be, I think that's a footprint. I'll stop and tell Finn to have a look at it before I tread on it.
Yeah, I mean, spotting a footprint tells you a million things.
All right, so
Yeah.
Finn, now that you've cast that spell, what do you have any other spells that you want to cast, or anything else that you want to do in reaction to that?
No, nothing I want to cast right now.
Okay. So head over to the top of the path, everyone. Does that sound like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Finn, give me a hunting proficiency check, please.
Okay.
You don't have tracking, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I do have a spell for that, but I don't have it memorized.
Right.
So.
All right. So, you do spot some footprints near the top of the path. Because you don't have tracking, you can't identify them exactly, but they're not animal footprints.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any game trails or anything like that?
It's not really big enough for game trails.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like one path or something.
Can I at least get an idea of how old the footprints are?
Yeah, give me another hunting check.
Let's see. There they are.
All you can say is that you're pretty sure they weren't made in like the last couple hours.
Okay. So they're not recent, but
You
something
wanna-
came through here.
They wouldn't be washed away from the rain because there is no rain.
Mm-hmm.
But the air does move. There is some wind at times.
Finn will compare the footprint to the size of his foot.
It is smaller.
Okay. So it's not necessarily... Well, it's probably not larger than we are, at any rate.
No.
Could be children. Do you
Or
think?
something else entirely.
Yeah.
Gnomes, halflings, or packs or something, I don't know.
Well,
I
I
Finn,
guess all we can really do is start heading down.
Finn,
Yes.
can you sort of guess how heavy people are by how deep their footprints are?
He doesn't have tracking.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That is something that tracking would give you.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah, so like the hunting, it has some basic tracking ability, but the main thing about hunting is that you're moving through and looking for places that animals are likely to be, rather than like tracking an animal and then hunting it kind of thing. So, all right, so you're at the top of the trail to go down. Finn is going to go first, and Ockar is going to go last. Where do you want everyone else, including Margoth?
Solas would be on the middle.
Everything is in the middle at this point.
I mean, specifically in the middle.
Who is going second?
Probably Braxon should.
Yeah, Braxon to go second.
Okay. So let's see. Okay. I'll put Leva second to last, just because that's easier.
That's
Unless
good call.
unless you guys want
Right.
someone specifically there.
Well, put me third then.
Okay.
I would be fourth.
I would fifth, Ockar sixth, or Margoth sixth.
Ockar is the
seventh.
last one.
Margoth,
Ocker's
then
last.
Leva,
Ocker's
then Ockar.
Ocker's our anchor man. It's his job.
Okay.
If we start falling off the cliff, it's Ocker's job to hold all the weight of all of us.
Well, if Ockar is the one that is falling off the cliff, it's our job to get him up.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think if I fall, you guys are doomed.
We are not wearing full plate.
I mean, if
Only-
Ockar falls, and then like you got everyone in front of him to
Yeah.
pull him. So, all right. So, Finn, at the top of the trail, the path, Braxon, you're using your magic rope to tie everyone up.
Yeah.
Okay. Finn, give me a wisdom check, please.
Okay.
Okay. So, Finn, and you can ask your question in a moment, Braxon.
Yeah, sure.
The trail is definitely used. You can't really tell whether it's well used or infrequently used or what. But it is used. And its main danger is its narrowness. You can walk down, facing forward, at least for the most part. But you will have to be careful. But it's also not that long.
Okay.
So, anything that you want to do before you're ready to go? Or any
At
questions?
this time, no.
Okay.
But
Braxon.
I will relay what I know
Mhm.
to everyone.
Okay. Braxon, you had a question?
Yeah, it was like a two part thing.
Mhm.
Can firstly, I'm wondering if we'd be better off if Braxon uses his rope use to tie to everyone's belts, and if his rope use would give him a knot that will hold the weight of everyone, but that they can pull it to undo it to get themselves off the rope.
The problem is that you need an end free to really undo it. Like you need things like climbing gear to have things where one person can undo it and get off the rope line, kind of thing. You're literally just tying the rope around everyone. Tying to the belts is perfectly fine too. I don't.
Yeah.
So
there's no knot. There's no knot you can do in the middle of a knot.
You're doing what your character believes is best.
Okay.
But I think once everyone is tied up, then everyone is tied up. You'd have to cut it to get someone off in the middle.
Oh, okay. I thought there was some more knots that did different things.
Maybe I don't know enough about knots.
Yeah, me neither. But
I'm going to
knots
assume
you
that
could do
you
in the middle of
need
the
like
rope
it has to
that
start
you
at
could
the
undo.
front or the back though. Because again, you're
All right,
just using a rope. You're
everyone-
not using specialized climbing gear. I'm sorry, you broke up. If you're speaking, I can't hear you. Are you getting some like?
Yeah, you broke up for me. I can hear you again now.
Okay. Sorry, what were you asking? You broke up.
No, I wasn't. I was trying to listen to you going, and I was about to say I can't hear you going.
Oh, okay.
Robotic for me.
Yeah. So basically, like because you don't have any special gear, it is just first person or last person has to untie themselves to get free. And
okay,
like,
all right.
I'm perfectly fine that the knots are such that it's just a real quick, simple tug to get it free if they're the first or last in the order.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, what I'll do in the future if we do this, but not this time, is we'll have separate bits of normal rope that we use to tie to Braxon's rope. And then people can untie from there without having to cut through a magical item.
Or
yeah, we're not cutting a magical rope.
or just get specific climbing gear to help.
Yeah, you can buy climbing gear next time you're in Brawl if that's something that you want to be able to do.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so Finn, ready to lead the way?
Yep.
Okay. I want a wisdom check and a dexterity check.
Dexterity, my forte.
You
I know.
get the +1.
You do get the +1 to the dexterity, yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with the wisdom.
Yes, please, because wisdom will alter the dexterity check. Okay.
+1.
Okay. So you begin the process down. You guys are going carefully, so you're looking at 20 minutes to get through this.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Since you are rolling to roll under the score, it would be -1 actually. Right.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered with that roll anyway. So, Finn, you begin leading the way down, and your right side is against the cliff face, the wall going down, and your left is on the outer edge. There are scrabbly bushes along the way and stuff like that, but at one point you do put your left foot down and you feel the ground is a little loose. You are able to grab a bush and keep yourself from falling. All you do is like stumble a bit. And you recognize that as one of the spots that you were warned about. Luckily, you were able to grab on and things in time.
Okay, so So I'll look to see what the best way across this area is.
So, it's just the outer edge that's soft. So, if you're very careful and you keep your feet to the inner edge, then everyone will be fine.
Okay, I will relay that to everyone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Go ahead.
And then let the rope play out between us and keep as much space as possible.
Okay. About the most you can get is 4 feet or so. But one more wisdom check, please.
Braxon could shuffle forward a bit if Finn needs some space.
Okay, Finn. You are able to identify the remaining spots that are similar that you need to be careful and keep to the inner side. Throughout all this, Margoth has no problems navigating any of it. The rest of you kind of have to, just for those spots, either walk narrowly as if you were walking a balance beam. In fact, Lafdul has no trouble with that either, having tightrope walking. But some of the others, like Ockar in particular, has to turn himself and shuffle along the edge for just a couple feet. And you get down the path and standing just at the mouth of the cave. Not in yet, so you're like you haven't gone around the corner yet. You can tell with just like a quick glance that it does widen a fair bit once you get inside. But now that you're down, how do you want to approach entering the cave?
Finn is going to change himself into an iguana.
I take it that unties him from the rope.
I untie myself from the rope first, but...
Well, what are you planning to do?
I was just going to slip around the corner up above the normal eye level and just kind of let my eyes adjust and see what I see.
Okay. Does anyone have any objections to that? Like, I assume that you're mentioning this.
Braxon,
to do it, you can do it.
Braxon treats Lafdul as our city expert and Finn as our wilderness expert, and they're in charge.
I just wanted to see if anyone else had an idea or a plan that they thought might work. That's fine. I'm not objecting to it in any way. Okay.
Just make sure there's nothing waiting to ambush us right as we come around the corner.
Okay.
Oh, it's an excellent idea.
Is your plan to come back out and turn back into human form to relay what you learn? Because that's going to determine how I inform you what you see.
Yeah, I probably would come back out.
Okay.
After taking a good look around.
Okay.
Question quick before that happens. Would Finn have agreed a set of signals that he can do when he's in animal form if he wants to pass on messages to Braxon? Because in the past he's just licked Braxon or stuff like that.
Well, iguanas do have tongues.
Yeah,
there you go.
But that's not, 1 lick for safe, 2 licks for dangerous.
No, but he can understand us. We just ask questions and we say
I
go
know.
to the right or go to the left, and that's yes or no.
I know, but he could say, I will tap 3 times if it's safe or something,
Well, part of the question is, because I need to tell Finn what he sees, and the question is this something that I need to tell just him, or can I just say it openly because he's going to turn back into human form and say, hey guys, I just saw blah, blah, blah what Auld just told me.
Yeah. No, the reason why I specifically said that is if he's got a way to communicate stuff to us, then he doesn't need to change back into a human. He's got the option.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to describe what he saw.
I don't see the need to stay an iguana after I do this either.
Okay,
so
that's what I wanted to know. All right. Okay, so you untie yourself and turn it into an iguana, crawl up on the walls, and go around the corner and look in. Takes a few minutes for your eyes to adjust fully. The cavern widens considerably. It is definitely been worked a fair bit, and you do see a ship. However, that ship has listed. It is on its side, and you can see that it has clearly suffered damage. It is a squid ship, and there is clearly space for one or two other similar-sized vessels in here. But that ship is definitely damaged. Without a closer look, and you're certainly no expert, you wouldn't be able to tell like how old it is, what sort of damage it is, anything like that. Further back, you can see the cave narrows and becomes more of a tunnel, and you can see just like the flickering of firelight back that way. You can't see the fire itself, you can just see the light playing off the walls. And anything else you would have to get closer if you want to be able to see. Now you are in a fairly stealthy form. But it is not one best suited to darkness either.
Right. No, I will just go back out, let everyone know.
Okay.
What I've seen. I saw the firelight, and that definitely says that this cave is probably occupied.
There is not a whole lot of cover, and it is pretty likely that if you walk in, if there's someone watching the entrance of the cave, they're going to be able to see your silhouettes. Because there's not much cover.
Did I see any kind of movement?
No, but it's very dark in the back.
Okay.
I could get
You know,
up
while
close.
I'm in there, I'd flick my tongue out a little bit, see if I taste anything on the air.
There's a variety of unusual smells. I'm actually not sure if iguanas work that way. Iguanas would have normal. Snakes would have a tongue like that.
Okay.
But the iguana nose doesn't pick up anything in particular.
Okay. All right, that's enough.
I mean, there's a
information
variety of
gathering, I
unknown
think.
smells, but nothing that jumps out at you as, I know what that is and that's bad, or anything like that.
So unless we can all become invisible, we don't have a way to stop being spotted on the way in.
No. You could try crawling. That might make a difference. Like if everyone gets down on their hands and knees and crawls or something like that.
I can offer suggestions.
Yep.
1 second. Had to clear my throat. Or I can make myself invisible at no cost, and I can get close to literally see them, and they would not see me. Or I could make the entire party invisible. I do have a spell to do such. I also have another spell that allows me to effectively disappear from the psionic world, so they would not sense me mentally. If we're talking about Illithids, the ones that can sense minds, even though you're invisible, they would still sense your mind with my spell. They should not be able to sense my mind. But
if that's the case, though, wouldn't they have already sensed our minds?
How far away is that ship from the entrance?
It's a couple ship lengths in. It's a pretty large docking cavern, but like in terms of depth. But there's only the one ship, and there's space for a couple others, but there aren't any other ships.
If I cast a spell on the party, the one that, because I can cast it on multiple party members, it's not going to last any more than 10 minutes, but we would have all effectively have the element of surprise. And
you
even
mean to
with
make
my,
everyone invisible?
well, both my mind blank and my pixie dust, which would make us all invisible physically and psionically, but we would only have 10 minutes, so it's a case of, are we going to storm the place?
At the very least, that would let us get in there and get our eyes adjusted before we end up in a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather like to scout invisibly by myself first, using my ring of invisibility.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you wanted everyone to do that, then Ockar can't see.
I cast Bat Sight on him. Bat Sense. And he can see via echolocation as long as someone's making noise. As long as there's ambient noise, he can always see.
All right. Well, if you want Lafdul to go in and scout, then Braxon will have to untie himself from the rope, untie you from the rope, and you'll have to climb around the back of Braxon.
I'm good at climbing.
Get in the cave. No. I'm just saying that's what we'll do. And then Braxon will tie himself back on the rope.
I'm pretty quiet with my feet. I don't make much noise. Most of the time.
No, it's just from what Auld said, then two of us have to untie from the rope to get you off the rope.
Which is not a problem, because you probably want to be untying yourselves around this point to get into the cave anyway.
Yeah. Finn's already untied anyway, so.
This is something I would like to do, so I will take off my Ring of Regeneration and swap that for Ring of Invisibility.
Okay. So, Braxon, you untie yourself and then untie Lafdul.
Yeah.
And Lafdul, you become invisible.
Via the ring.
Yeah. And
I will sneak on ahead to see who's around the fire. Or the firelight that Finn told me about.
So what is your move silently?
80. Oh, silently. 80. And, yeah. I was going to say hide in shadows. It's like 60.
Yeah, you don't need to hide in shadows that much when you can't be seen. All right. So you become invisible and sneak around the corner, being as quiet as you can. And
I'm trying to stay at maximum sight distance.
Right. So you take a couple minutes to let your eyes adjust to the darkness, for one thing. You can use infravision, but infravision only has a limit of 60 feet. So as long as you've got this light coming in from behind, you can actually see further. You just can't see as many details.
Is that a subconscious thing that's done automatically, or do you have to consciously choose?
You physically, you consciously switch.
All right, so if you're suddenly in darkness, you would see darkness. You don't automatically...
Right. Which is why someone casting, if you're using infravision and someone just pulled out a flaming sword and made it ignite, you would be blinded for, So you sneak along the edge of the cavern. The path along the edge of the cavern is farther, it's on the opposite side of the docking cavern from the ship. But you get around and you approach the back tunnel. There is a slope that leads up to that. It slopes up into the interior of the asteroid. And you get closer, you can hear sounds in there, and you can see the flickering of flames. Give me an intelligence check, please. Okay. You can see some silhouettes against the flickering of the firelight. So what you can conclude from this is that there are some fires further down this corridor, but in between that and you, there are some figures. They do not appear as tall as you. You can still get closer if you want to try to get a better idea of what there is. That's like you've stopped and analyzed this as soon as you noticed what was there.
What's the ground I'm walking on? Does it potentially look like someone could place a trap in there, or does it seems as clear as day, or is it like worked stone or?
It's semi-worked stone in that it's like the natural
Cobbles
stone.
and-
The natural stone has been smoothed out and carved, but you've got a smooth slope as opposed to steps or something like that.
Does the ground look gravelly?
No, it's pretty smooth. There's some of that, but it's not like been put there. It's more stuff that's just fallen off the sides and accumulated there and stuff like that, but not too much. Not enough to like cause you to slip. It could cause some extra noise. You're taking care to not create noise with that, though.
Yeah, I want to see what those silhouettes are.
So you're gonna close in.
I'm trying to remember. Last time I fought Illithids, for example, were they taller than me or
Oh, yeah.
shorter than me?
Yeah.
Much
They're
taller.
they're Ockar height.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I kind of do. I'm wearing an amulet of non-detection, so I do not. That's generally magic. I don't know if it helps the psionics.
All right, so you're gonna close in.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. You close in very carefully, inching your way along the wall. So you can see that the corridor slopes up. There is a stalagmite. Well, really more of a column in the center of this that has formed over quite a bit of time. And behind that is the cave considerably narrows and goes further back to where the flames are, and there are 4 guards there. That is straight back. However, you also notice that there is a side passage to the right when you're facing that, and that has 2 guards. Give me an intelligence check.
I tell what race they are. That's exactly my score.
They're goblins.
Interesting. Markov would be happy.
Well, that depends if they are friendly to Margoth.
Well, they don't know who Markov is. The goblin sees another goblin. Is there any discernible features about the goblins? How they're armed, equipment? Does it look well maintained? Does it look natural? Does it look like they've been here a while? Do they look like they got external resources?
It's hard to tell because these are clearly guards on entrance, like the entrance to a further cave complex.
Do they have metal weapons?
They do, yeah. They are equipped with spears and hand axes, and they have shields. You can't tell what kind of armor they're wearing.
Do they have any kind of face color, face paint, any kind of like discernible information that I
can't make.
Right.
No. You would need actual light to be able to see that.
All right, I'll head back to the bar.
Okay.
I will inform them of what has transpired, and obviously goblinoids.
So Margoth will definitely be interested in that. She'll have a few questions for her, for you.
Yeah.
You
The non-violent,
as well as you can.
Do you think they could be escapees from the Illithids?
They could be slaves for all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, elephants keep mental slaves.
We don't particularly want to get in a fight with someone that's escaped slaves, and if we go sneaking in, they might think we're there to attack them.
It would be extremely hard to sneak in because, like, they're guarding the passages in such a way that you would almost certainly bump into them unless you can make yourself insubstantial.
Well,
So even if you could keep, be utterly silent and hidden from view,
I mean, I could polymorph and make myself invisible.
that
have
would
Etherealness
work for
spell.
like one person. It wouldn't work for the whole party.
well,
That
I
would
do
give
have
us-
Etherealness spell, but the
wow.
problem would be getting out.
Wouldn't
Braxon
be.
just learned. Was it Hobgoblin he learned?
Goblins.
No, I think you
Goblin.
learned Goblin. Hobgoblins speak Goblin.
Yeah, Goblin. Yeah, sorry, Goblin. So Braxton's just learned Goblin. He would be happy to go into Margoth. Sorry, he'd be happy to go in with Margoth if she's up for that.
Yeah, she's definitely game. She's if you want to like try to negotiate with them, is that
What do
that
people
what
think?
you're thinking?
I mean, they don't seem overly hostile. They've got a damaged ship. If they're not dangerous, we could offer them assistance. And if they attack, we can deal with the situation then.
I'm surprised. No, I mean, they're guards. They're guarding against what?
Well,
I mean, this is still dangerous sphere.
yeah, it's a dangerous sphere. If
There's
their
plenty
ship's
of-
damaged,
There's plenty of dangerous monsters that might arrive, or ships that hostile ships that could arrive to this asteroid.
So
Yeah, but this strikes me as more of like a full manned base, kind of like without many guards. Even 4 to 2, that's lots of guards.
So, first of all, like, they have a really good vantage point. They'd be able to see anything that is not using some sort of magic to disguise itself coming into the docking cavern, such as space sturges. And having fought them before, space sturges here in Red Eyes are definitely something that could do a lot of harm to a group of goblins.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got that at least. Maybe they're guarding against something else as well, but that is something that you could conclude having fought them yourself.
yeah,
I mean, they could be guarding just because they are escaped slaves doesn't mean that there's not other people that would be happy to enslave them again in this sphere or destroy them
yeah.
also.
So I think we've got two possibilities here. Either they're non-hostiles, or they're working for the Illithids or some other faction, and we've not seen them. But I don't see any reason to suspect the second thing yet.
So possibly the best way to approach this is let them see us, but from a distance, so we can try to gauge their intentions before we are on top of them.
Yeah,
I
Well, that's-
mean, if they are hostile, do we back off and just go in with a ship?
So
if we go in with the big ship,
your big
they
ship can't fit
might
into
feel
the docking
threatened.
cavern, for one thing.
Can it shoot into the cap?
Oh, it could shoot in, but it wouldn't be able to aim very well. It would be kind of random fire because it can't. Like when you're outside, you can't see inside. It's too dark in there.
If they are hostile, I don't think we should retreat and give them more time to prepare. I think if they are hostile, then we just go in.
I'm happy to talk to them. If they
Yeah,
attack
of
me,
course.
we know they're hostile.
Yeah, of course we try to
and
negotiate with
I
them first.
can. Well, we've come here because we were told there might be something here, right?
Yeah, you're looking
If
for
these-
information.
Yeah, we're looking for information. If these people can't give us any information and they don't want us here, we could just go away.
Well, I think there was some information about Leva's
Right.
history here.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
Well,
We
I've
should-
got my ring of
Which
understanding.
actually
now,
reminds
because
me, would Telex have come down with us?
we didn't bring Telex.
probably not.
Yeah,
We didn't say we were bringing Telex,
No.
so he's not here.
and you didn't
and
bring
if-
Beowulf either.
Mhm. And even if Talox would have come with us, it would be similar case to Levas. They're not there.
No, I think we could. Oh yeah.
Leva is the one who commands Talox.
Yeah. But we would have had to have specifically said we were bringing Telex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Braxon's got his ring. If someone else wants to come, Braxon will lend his ring to someone. They can say talking goblin.
Well, I think it's best that we don't go all in together.
I know.
Especially
But
when I see elves.
Once I go in, I can't lend my ring to someone. Before we go in, I can lend my ring to someone. So this is the one-time deal. Does someone want the ring?
Well, Margoth will say that, I mean, if you negotiate with them, she says, goblins do respect strength, so you could be better off having everyone with you, showing that you are strong, but you are not interested in fighting them. There is something that they will respect about that. But there is also something to be said for hiding your true strength and going in with just a few and then bringing the rest in once they agree. It is up to you, but keep those in mind.
Okay, so we can have people talk to us from outside.
Oh, I asked Margoth for a etiquette rundown on how you interact with goblinoids if you want to be friendly, I guess.
Well, don't back down from a challenge, not necessarily a fight, but if they are challenging your strength and authority, don't back down. Stand up for yourself. Strength is respected.
Good thing that Solas cast strength on himself.
Yeah. So aggressive diplomacy, I guess.
Okay. Last chance. Anyone want Braxton's ring?
Well,
nope,
have you decided whether you want to how you want to go? Do you want to show strength, or do you want to because 2 people going in, there's 6 goblins, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one can tell levels, but it is possible that the 6 goblins are just going to be like, hey, it's just 2 people. They're going to be easy. Let's kill them.
Yeah, I know. But what?
Based on what Margot said, we can go as a whole, but perhaps have the 2 that are speaking for us, Margot and Braxon, be a bit further ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just up to you.
I think we should all go in.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we should all go in with Margoth and Braxon leading.
I mean, Lafdul's still invisible, so he could stay invisible and just be to the side if he...
Yeah, that's a good idea.
If he wanted to.
Solas covers his ears.
Yeah, I will lend my hat of disguise to Leva and suggest that she takes on a human-like form.
Alright, that's fine. Okay, so,
I will try to help with disguise proficiency on Solas.
I mean, it's dark, and unless you're really hiding yourself entirely,
it might help, it might not.
Yeah, but you don't have all of your disguise stuff.
I think since Solas isn't he's half elf instead of a full elf, I think he can disguise himself by basically putting his long hair on top of his ears and pulling the hood on his cloak on.
We got beards, so that helps.
Some elves have beards, though. All right. All right.
Finn
So you
would also like to cast Unfailing Premonition before we go in.
Okay. How long does that last?
I think 1 turn plus a round per level, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Could I cast a spell before you, Finn? Because I do have an augury. I could try to determine if they're just going to be outright hostile to us, I guess.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think, because you got to ask a question. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we'll be attacked, but can we expect danger from negotiating with the goblins?
Okay. What is your percentage?
79. It takes 2 rounds to cast.
Okay. All right. So you cast your augury. Pull out a little tray and roll your dice in it.
Probably on the
And
back of my shield.
something like that. Yeah, it's fine. The dice. Reading the dice, you see that. Careful diplomacy can win you what you wish.
I'll relay that. Margaret will probably be very happy with this.
Okay. All right. So, you.
And
Yeah,
I looked
Finn-
it up. The unfailing is 1 turn plus 2 rounds per level.
Yeah. Okay. So that's really good. So half an hour.
Yep.
All right. So you cast that, and you're going to basically go in as a group, but with Braxon and Margoth ahead of you.
Yeah, basically they are clearly the people that are parlaying for us.
Okay. All right.
Solas would cast flying on himself and basically just in case.
Okay, but you're going to still
Situation.
walk until you need it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just that I have it on.
Go ahead and bring you guys over to the cave. So while you are while you're moving there, Braxon, give me a carpentry check, please.
Carpentry check.
Because you're going to be able to at least look at the ship
I-
as you walk by.
Okay.
Not very closely, but
Yeah, the map's still loading, so I can't click on myself at the moment.
Oh.
Shall I just roll a d20?
yeah, just roll a d20.
Just down the bottom.
No, the map's not loaded yet. I just got a black screen.
Yeah,
Oh,
scroll down
you
the
mean-
bottom.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, bottom middle.
Okay.
Yep.
So Braxon, that ship was damaged at dock. It is fairly damaged. Like it would take a lot of work to get it back into full ship shape. Without going aboard, you don't know its status in terms of a helm on it or anything like that.
Yeah.
However, given the shape of its rigging and sails, this has not moved in years.
Right.
Oh. Something I would have cast with Solas was casting fly, if you'll allow me.
Tell me what it is first.
Polymorph self, so I can take on a human form, and I will not be invisible.
Okay.
And I will also swap back my Ring of Invisibility for the Ring of Regeneration.
Okay. Let's see. Braxon, I see that you're not fully healed. You might want to fix that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me just move everyone.
Okay, so
There.
I think Braxon will call out a goblin greeting.
Okay, so you you approach with the rest of the party standing back a bit. You approach the goblins. Clearly, like they're clutching their weapons at the ready to fight you, but they're definitely eyeing you warily as you approach.
Braxon. Nobody wanted the ring, so
Yep, that's fine. That's fine.
Braxon could understand anyone that speaks a language other than Goblin. Braxton's gonna say, "Greetings. We mean you no harm. We have come here because we want information about the Illithids that were here."
So, one of the goblins calls out as you're approaching. Halt! Stay where you are. Your request. We must speak with the chief. And one of the goblins here, he turns around after a quick little conversation and runs further back into the cavern. The goblins that remain, they form up, and one motions you to advance a little bit, just you and Margoth.
Yeah.
And says, "What exactly do you wish with us?"
We are interested in the Illithids that were here. We're not specifically interested in you, but we're glad you're here because you may be able to help us with the information we seek.
Are those your friends behind you?
Yes, my name is Braxon Miacc, and we are the Company of the Broken Sword. We have a ship, but it's parked a little bit away from here. And we're from another crystal sphere. Is this your ship?
The
Looks like
ship
it's
was
seen
here
better
when we
days.
arrived. Did you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Margoth is not saying anything.
Yeah.
And when the goblins begin to converse, she whispers to you and says, "I think it best if I act as a servant or some such, a translator for the rest of the party if it comes to it, if you have no
Okay.
objection."
No,
Go
that
ahead.
sounds
Sure,
like a good
go ahead.
idea.
So, a few minutes pass as the goblin comes back to converse with the others, and they speak quietly, and the one that you've spoken with steps forward and says, "The chief will speak to you and hear your request. Follow us."
Thank you.
And for ease of purposes, I'm going to have all you guys just stack up right here.
You can,
Just,
So you can move us.
yeah.
I've been turned into a blob.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot easier if I can.
figured something
like-
like this was going to happen. That's why I decided to
it's
be
the
visible.
famous death blob formation.
No,
Very
it's
dangerous.
it's like three kobolds in a trench coat.
Yeah.
So, technically, you're not all like this, but the goblin
Yeah.
begins conducting you through the caves, and this is partly so that you can, like, I don't have to wait for all of you guys to
Move.
follow and move and
Yeah.
chase and blah blah blah, and this will actually get you some like visibility on what's going on. So you are conducted past a small fire with a couple goblins sitting around it, and they begin. Actually, make sure that I know where I'm going. I need to.
They
There.
have
Okay.
livestock.
So yes, you are brought into a larger chamber. You can see some walls, round walls of some huts that stretch up to the ceiling. It's not low, It's about like 10 to 15 feet high at that point. But it's basically walling off a little building. And they've got other things. They've got a pen you're passing with some goats. Finn, give me a wisdom check, please, if you're here.
Are
Those
they
things
well
that those
treated?
are the goats that Finn said were missing.
So yeah, Finn, you can conclude for sure that these are very likely where the animals went. That you had the idea that there weren't enough of a certain size animal around. That's them. They've been corralled down here.
Finn will take a quick look at the condition of the goats as well.
You've seen better. You've seen worse. They are like they're obviously, it's underground, which is not the most ideal place. They don't have free grazing, but there is dried grass that has obviously been cut and brought in for them to eat and stuff like that. And there's also some fungus growing in there that they can eat. It's not, again, not the best, but you have also seen worse. You're pretty sure that these goats are being kept for their wool, their meat, and their hides.
And possibly milk.
Possibly milk too, yeah. So you are guided back along. You can see more goblins. At a quick glance, you can tell that there's a pretty good number of goblins here.
Mm-hmm.
And
How well equipped are they as we're getting closer?
Not all of them have weapons and armor. There are a few, some of them definitely do, but you're seeing a mixture of males and females. There's some children as well. So this is definitely a community.
Some people are clearly some craftsmen and such.
Yes, yeah. And there is a distinct difference between some who have metal weapons and others who are basically just armed with clubs, shaped sticks, and that sort of thing.
No stone or bone weapons.
There's probably some stone weapons in there too, but you're just getting a quick glance as you're being guided by them. There's also more of the guards have come with you than just these, but this is just for the ease of moving you around.
But
I'm sorry?
do they look like they've? I'm no miner, but do they look like they've been mining, or are they just filling in natural?
As you said, you're no miner.
Solas is almost a miner, just needs the proficiency points.
All right, so you get to another of these structures. A goblin steps aside from the doorway.
We are escorted.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Solas would be looking around while we are escorted, basically paying attention what's where.
Yep. Are there any things in particular that you're looking for? Like questions that you want to...
If there's any signs of signs that might indicate, for example, existence of shaman or something like that.
You wouldn't really know what that would look like, but
I'm looking
nothing obvious is standing out.
Or if there's something that looks like that there might be some records have been kept there and might be still there.
So nothing here looks anything at all like
that.
Illithid. Like, you have not seen any sign of Illithid so far.
Okay.
So the goblin steps aside, and you are brought into a chamber. This is obviously the chief's hut, and
Chief has biggest hut.
The chief comes out, and he is flanked by a pair of guards. Actually, no,
Yeah.
these would have been his wives. Oh, my bad. Doo-doo.
Maybe
some
his
of
wives
his-
are
mean,
guards.
Yeah,
some
wives
of
could be
his-
the guards.
Some of his guards come out.
How well equipped are they?
It's triplets.
They are better equipped
It's-
than the others. So,
Do they wear metal armor?
yeah, they
Well,
have
it's
they
a
have some metal armor. They
Okay.
have some various other it's still it's not it's matched as best as it can be, but it is not
Mhm.
like the best matching and everything like that.
Clearly nothing that was made for them.
Well, no, it was made for them. It's just that it's definitely of goblin make, but it's not uniform. But it's the best of what you've seen so far.
Scavenged, maybe.
No, not scavenged either. It's just not not the situation where someone sat down and said, "All right, I'm making multiple sets of mail at the exact same time for these guys." It's mail made at different times, maybe not necessarily for those exact goblins, that kind of thing.
Ockar might be able to tell.
Yeah, I mean, Ockar, do you want to roll an armoring proficiency check?
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
But you said that these huts are not Illithid made. Look, Illithid made.
Correct.
So they would be goblin made.
I just gotta
Or
wait for
something
my
else.
sheet to load.
Is it like wattle and darp or what?
Yeah,
Is
it
it
looks
leather?
like that. Probably some mud overlaid
Yeah,
wood
no.
and stuff like that.
No.
Okay.
Too far for
The
you.
best you can tell, Ockar, is that you think that the armor that they're wearing is none of it's like real recent. So nothing that's been made within the past couple months or year or something like that. It's all older than that. A lot of it has been repaired multiple times. So the chief comes out, and some goblin servants bring him a chair to sit on, a large chair, and he relaxes in it while his guards stand on either side, and he says, "Yes, you have. I understand you are looking for some information. You are in the presence of the chief of this tribe. You can call me Grathnak."
Grafnak. Thank you, Grafnak. I am Braxon Miacc, and I lead the Company of the Broken Sword.
And as he's speaking, Margoth will be quietly translating to the rest of you. And she is in, like, normally she stands up straight and, clearly proud of herself and everything like that, but she's taking a very obsequious pose with you around, trying to make it look like she is just a servant. All right, go ahead, and Braxon, what were you saying?
Yeah, Braxon will say, excuse my translator. Not all of my crew speak Goblin.
Yes, not everyone is as well informed as you, apparently. Speak, what is it you wish?
We're interested in some Illithids that were active here some time ago. We didn't even know you were here. Did you meet the Illithids when you came here?
No, when we arrived, this was abandoned. We know of the place you speak of. It is further in the caves. It has been blocked off. You wish to
Is
go
it dangerous
down
there?
there?
We do.
It is not of our interest.
Okay. If we were to go there, would that be clearing the area out for you to make it safe for you?
Oh, it is not that it is unsafe. We just have no interest in it. This serves our purpose. We do not need the space. These are much better constructed places for us.
I see.
So
Well, then
he
Yeah.
surreptitiously beckons one of the goblins from in here over, and he whispers something to it. You are not able to overhear it, and the goblin heads out this way.
Can I try to listen, even though I won't necessarily understand the words? When Margov's whispering back to us, I might try and whisper it back to her, what I heard.
All right.
This is going to be rather difficult, but I'm going to try it.
What is your hearing score?
It's like 50.
Yeah, you can't make any of it out, and what little
Fair
you
enough.
can make out, like, it could be so many different sounds that you're not able to make it out.
I can surmise, probably check for others.
I mean, like, you really cannot make anything out other than the fact that they are whispering something.
Yeah. Why would one go off?
Solas quietly whispers to Braxon to ask if there's if we get the access to the Illithid area, if there's any dangers there that the goblins know.
Yeah. Okay, Braxon will ask that.
There might be. We never explored it.
Very well. Are you okay with us exploring it ourselves?
I will need to check the signs. Check with the Great One. If the Great One agrees, then you may go. Is that
Just mark
satisfactory
off.
for you? What do you wish to find there?
Braxon. Well, Braxon will say we're looking for something for one of my companions.
I mean, you don't, like, you can say you're looking for information. Like, he's more asking, are you looking for treasure? Are you looking for items? Are you looking for information? Blah, 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 blah.
Paperwork.
Information
I don't.
records.
Yeah, we're mostly looking for information. I don't know exactly what Lever needs though.
Yeah, but
bookwork,
you would
writing.
say information.
I think Braxon would know, but I don't exactly know what we're looking for.
Well, I mean, you're looking for information, possibly paperwork,
Yeah.
records, that kind of thing. So you can say that.
Yeah,
Like at least that's what you're hoping to find there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Say like one of our clan was lost, found, and we're trying to find their past.
So should you find valuables, that could be payment to me.
Okay.
Is that agreeable?
What sort of split are you requesting?
I'm not looking for a split. You say you want information. It
Oh, you're
seems fair
saying-
to me that you take your information and I take the treasure. What say you?
What do you think? We just
Well,
don't know.
Captain.
Well, Margot did say that you have to be strong in diplomacy and not back down if they challenge you.
Yeah.
There may be some risk to us, going there.
Mayhaps.
How about an even split?
Solas quickly points out that they basically get some treasure without doing anything.
But we control the access. Surely a
true.
greater split than that is warranted. How about 3 for us and 1 for you?
How about 2 for you and 1 for us?
What type of things are you interested in? I mean, when you say treasure, is this money or is it items? Is it magic? Is it what interests you? Is it lore? Is it culture? Is it food? We can, offer things.
You gonna pass that along, Braxon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Braxton will say, what sort of things are you after?
Well, I am interested. We are interested in valuables and weapons and armor. Should you find such things, I would agree with 2 for us, 1 for you.
Okay. If we can't carry everything, will you go back with us to bring out things that are heavy?
If you can't carry everything, then you can take what you can carry with that split. Is that agreeable?
I think that's agreeable. Would everyone think that's agreeable? I think that's agreeable.
Yeah.
Solas would have suggested 2 for us, 3 for them split.
I would say that, yeah, it's the same with Solas, but offer to make your living conditions a little bit better. We can make the plant life more productive, I guess. Not to warp it unfavorably, but just a little bit of ELC, I guess.
Yeah, that would mean we stay around.
Plant growth. Yeah, but for a company that's living out here, that might be they might not be able to do that, and that's world changing for them.
Yeah, that
Suddenly
might be.
trees are really productive.
That might be staying around to do stuff.
Well, it's one spell.
Yeah.
It's like trading for stuff, offering services in place of treasure. We could repair the ship or something.
Yeah.
Or,
And as I said, Solas would advocate for the 2 for us, 3 for them split.
Yeah, I think
rather than 1 for us, 2 for them.
Yeah, I already said 1 for us and 2 for them, though.
Yeah.
So I can't. I can't.
It's not agreed yet. Just say I've conferred with my companions and they.
He basically already agreed.
I can't. I can give concessions, but I can't take back. And I've already spoken.
So the goblin servant that was sent away has returned and is whispering to the chief.
I would say to Grafnak, there may also be services we can provide for you if you want services.
If that is the case, we will pay for them.
Yeah. Okay. Very well. I think this is agreeable.
The signs are good, and the Great One has agreed. You may go.
Thank you.
So he signals to some more guards to come in, and they will guide you. As I get everyone nice and clustered up. There we go. And for good measure.
Good. It's good. Meant we didn't have to fight through the goblins to get in.
All right. So, you will be guided out. Let me see. Yep, there we go. Okay. So, they guide you out back up this way, around this, continuing up a little bit higher. You are seeing some more of these small huts. You pass by one that you can hear some hammering in, and as you pass by, you can see that there is a crude forge inside. It is pretty smoky there, so they definitely do not have great ventilation on what is going on in there.
They don't have to worry about black, anything like that.
So they bring you up to a wider chamber, and they bring you in front of a wall of piled up stone. everyone give me an intelligence check, please.
Okay.
Intelligence check. Yeah, that's a success.
Oh, I failed.
Nick closer to your
I
target,
failed.
the better.
Basically, just
failed
getting
here.
on target is the best. Okay. So, Solas and Lafdul. The goblins bring in some more, and they set to work moving some stones that are piled up, blocking the passageway. And Solas and Lafdul, both of you notice that some of these stones are a little unusual.
No.
You're kind of under close watch, so it's up to you whether you want to tell the rest of the party, like whisper to the rest of the party what you notice. So it's up to you whether you want to do that. Otherwise, I will message you what you are seeing.
Solas would quietly whisper at the rest of the party.
Okay.
I mean, we're being watched, so it's just
Just basically talking
surreptitious.
together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't know whether they know common or not, so that's kind of what it boils down to.
Yeah.
So what you've noticed and what you share with the rest of the party is that not all of these stones are stone. Or, like, some of them appear to be, like, statues or pieces of statues.
Oh.
As in just purposefully destroyed. Can I make
Hard to say.
phrase?
Hard to say. Both of you give me a further intelligence check at half your score.
I'm trying to see if this is natural.
Yeah, at half
No.
that's not a success.
14 half. 7, so yeah, I passed by 1.
So, Lafdul, you do notice that some of the pieces are sized about for goblin. Some of them are larger, and at least one of them has a wound on it, like someone carved a wounded figure.
Wait.
But at that point,
These,
the goblins have cleared just enough space for you guys to crawl through one at a time.
Lafdul mentions, I think we might be dealing with a creature that can turn things into stone.
Oh, so those stones are goblins that have been
Can you
turned stone.
ask if there are any basilisks or anything like here?
I mean, Solas did say to Braxon to ask what they know about the dangers there.
The chief said that there weren't any, though.
Doesn't
Yeah,
mean he was
'cause-
being honest with us.
Mm.
So the goblins are motioning you through, and they definitely look nervous.
Yeah, there's danger.
Yeah, they're
I
familiar
think-
with the danger.
Is there one that obviously looks like a person?
They're like trying to move you on almost physically to tell you to get in,
Oh,
get
yeah.
through the hole.
Oh, I know. Is there one of these that obviously looks like a goblin that's been turned stone that Braxon can say, that looks like a goblin that was turned to stone by a monster in
Yeah,
goblin?
that looks petrified.
You failed your check, so now, like, I mean, like you're not too sure. You didn't get a good look, and now they're
okay.
like trying to urge you on through this hole.
Okay. Well, if Braxton failed his check then and he's been told this, he will say, my people tell me that some of those stones look like goblins that have been turned stone by a monster. Is this true?
The goblin guards that have led you here say, you have been given access. Move through, or the Gathnak will not be appreciative of your delays.
Does that
Okay.
seem like the deceptive, like they knew we're setting us into a trap and he's just been clever about it all? I'm trying to get a feel for their...
They look nervous.
Mm.
I'm
Lafdul
gonna.
just says they're on edge. They know what's there.
You're
Braxon's-
definitely getting the
Bra-
impression that if you resist going through, that they might get hostile.
No, Braxton's going to say, I am going through, but if there is a danger here and you're not straight with me and it gets past me and comes to kill some of you, it's not my fault. Do I need to know
We will
anything?
be closing it up as you once you're through. Call when you have found what treasures there are, and we will let you out.
Okay. Right, Braxton's going to go through.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess.
So all of you go through,
Hang on, I'm checking something.
and they immediately begin to close up the passage behind you.
Solas mentions that if they lied to us while negotiating, that's close for us renegotiating the split when we leave.
Mm-hmm.
So once through, you can see that this the rough-worked walls of the cavern quickly transition to laid stonework, and you can see the passage opening ahead of you. But it is about time to take our break, so we'll see exactly what that looks like when we come back in about 10 minutes, everyone. Good time to go get something to eat or drink, and we will see you very shortly.
Is that 10 minutes long enough for the goblins to brick up the wall behind us?
Oh yes, they're moving quickly. They're moving quickly.
Is it a disregard for the statues, or are they kind of like...
They're just shoving
stand
rocks
now.
in to make sure that it is as sealed as possible at this point.
Mm.
But now that you're on the other side, if you want to, you will be able to examine the wall when we come back in about 10 minutes. So see you shortly, everyone.
See you on the
See you
other
then.
side.